Welcome back. We're live at Pioneer Hall in Duluth, Minnesota, on the shores of Lake Superior. Here found that the ring was too low, so 4 forklifts had to be called in with the help of the president of boxing.
Look at the strength of that Bobby Goodman.
Bobby Goodman.
You see him lift that ring?
And Chuck Noble, lighting director, on the case with the railroad ties, putting it under the ring posts. Up goes the ring a couple of feet.
And here we have it.
And we're ready for boxing.
And Sam, it wasn't the workers that discovered it. We discovered it. You and I. Take full credit.
Yeah, well, we scouted it out. Yeah, but
okay.
You know, they did all the hard work, though. Bobby Goodman lifted the ring.
Sam, I've always been a supervisor.
Coming up, unbeaten Ricardo Cepeda, one of the top contenders in the world in the featherweight division, taking on Albert Rendon. Ricardo Cepeda, 17-0-1. Ricardo Cepeda is a step away from a shot at a world title. The 24-year-old featherweight from Puerto Rico has made a rapid rise into contender status. He's used his superb hand speed and surprising power to knock out 14 opponents in his 17 wins. If there's a flaw in his opponent's defense, Cepeda will usually find it and exploit it. His unbeaten record isn't the only thing impressive about his action. Moreover, it's the way he wins with beautiful moves leading to knockouts. Cepeda currently ranks number 2 in the featherweight division by the WBA and WBC, and number 3 by the IBF. With Jorge Paez ready to move up in weight class, Ricardo Cepeda is in line for a title shot.
Yes, he certainly is, Sam, and he's ready. He's been fighting. He's at the proper age. He should step right in there and maybe become champion of the world.
And there he is, set for action. So are we. Let's go back to Paul Guggenheimer for the introductions.
And now for our next bout, a 10-round featherweight fight. The referee will be Carl Benson. In the blue corner, wearing gold trunks and weighing in at 127 3/4 pounds, with a record of 10 wins, 4 losses, and 5 knockouts, from San Antonio, Texas, Albert Boom Boom Rendon. And in the red corner, wearing red, white, and blue trunks, weighing 125.5 pounds, undefeated, with a record of 17 wins, 1 draw, and 14 knockouts, from the Bronx, New York, the WBC Continental America's featherweight champion, Ricardo Cepeda.
Ricardo Cepeda, 24 years old, from Santurce, Puerto Rico. Negron Gonzalez in with him.
I think you're hurt. I'll give you a standing 8 count. I'm gonna let you fight
Cepeda,
if you want to fight.
who came to New York to be a sparring partner for Roberto Duran. Couldn't find Duran. Wound up being promoted by Madison Square Garden Boxing.
I think that was Rosario.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. Edwin Rosario is looking for, not Roberto Duran.
He'd be a little too fast for Duran.
Ricardo Cepeda, who began his pro career April of 1987. This one's scheduled for 10. Albert Rendon is 24 years old, from San Antonio. He's a newlywed. Married just a couple of weeks ago.
Well, that's why, maybe that's why his manager said, wait till you see this kid now. He's going to surprise everybody.
Wife Juanita watching back in San Antonio. Had a very limited career, only 13 amateur bouts, 14 pro bouts.
A strong little guy though, Sam. Like a little bull.
But he did look good in his last fight in July against Rogelio Tour. Tour won a 10-round decision. Cepeda with excellent power for featherweight.
Especially that left hook underneath, Sam. Good left hook. Rendon. Cepeda has that good left hook to the body. He gets that working. Makes him very, very effective. And he's showing a good jab right now.
Rendon is a deputy sheriff in San Antonio. Says he'd like to become a probation officer. Needs two more years of schooling to achieve that, and figures he'll give boxing another 2 years. See where he goes with his boxing career. Cepeda, nice double up jab.
Nice straight right hand too, Sam. Didn't land, but he throws it beautifully.
Rendon has landed a couple of punches in the exchanges here.
Good, solid fight, Sam. I think the difference is I think that Cepeda's punches are a little straighter and a little shorter.
Rendon certainly doesn't seem to be in awe of Cepeda and his high ranking.
I got it. Get back.
See that wide left hook inside by Rendon. Cepeda's is just that much shorter, and that makes the difference.
Cepeda's jabs come in different angles, really sharp. And he's setting everything up off the jab. Coming to the end of round 1. Round 2 scheduled for 10. Ricardo Cepeda in the red trunks. Albert Rendon in the gold. Cepeda looked good in that first round, Gil.
Did everything right, Sam. But he's got a tough little opponent here. You know, Rendon is the shorter of the two guys. He moves in underneath pretty good. But I like the Cepeda with the jab. I like the way he threw the straight right hand. And the fact I like Cepeda.
He's up and down so quickly with the jab and the left hook. He'll go to the body so quickly.
Nice jab by Rendon.
Rendon has been boxing for 6 years, turned pro in 1987. But has not had many fights.
Well, maybe now that he's married, he's decided he's going to have to work a little more.
All 4 of Rendon's losses have been by decision. He's never been down in a pro bout.
Well, he's built like a little fire plug, Sam.
And Cepeda with that little sidestep move that has been very effective for him.
There's that left hook underneath again after that right hand. That's his best punch. Throws that right hand and hooks back underneath.
Very patient. Good left hook by Cepeda. And again, the left hand was free. Cepeda looks like he's just a little bit classier than Rendon, and that shows in the rankings as well.
Just that little difference in the shortness of the punch, the quickness of the punch. Not very little to choose, but just that boxing is more or less a game of inches. A fifth of a second, you beat the other guy to the punch.
I think really, when you get down to it, the difference may be that Cepeda is spending all of his time boxing. That's the only thing he does. Rendon is working 2 careers, working as a deputy sheriff and also boxing part-time. It's not a full-time profession for him.
That certainly is a big difference, Sam. And meanwhile, Rendon get that jab going pretty good.
Ricardo Cepeda in his corner with Negron Gonzalez. And Ricardo Cepeda, a very good athlete. Comes from good stock. That's his second cousin, Orlando Cepeda, former Major League Baseball star. And they met up in Atlantic City not too long ago. Very happy reunion for the two.
Sam, let me just test your baseball knowledge. Who would Orlando Cepeda remind you of in the big leagues right now?
Right now?
Quickly, Sam.
Oh, quick.
Jose Canseco. That's
No,
enough. Yes,
no,
big,
not at
strong
all.
guy.
Canseco had a
home
faster
runs.
bat. Orlando had a big looping swing. Canseco's got a short, fast swing. Difference. A lot of power, but no, I disagree with you, Gil.
Okay, I lost that one. Sorry about that.
Ricardo Cepeda, an all-around athlete, played soccer in Puerto Rico, played baseball.
And he's got that shorter swing and the quicker bats the way Canseco had, not the way Orlando Cepeda had.
But he turned to boxing, and he's been very successful to this point. Right now, they're pointing toward a title shot against one of the three champions early next year.
You know, Sam, you mentioned the fact that he turned to boxing. Let's just analyze his career. He couldn't have been a linebacker, that's for sure. I don't think that he would have been made the big bucks in soccer. That's what's so good about boxing. You can be a little guy, you're in there with a guy your same weight. They have weight classes. You can't be a basketball player. You can't be playing against these 6'10" guys. But in boxing, even with another guy the same height or close to the same height, the same weight, and that's why these little guys have a big opportunity in boxing.
I got it.
Well spoken, Mr. Clancy.
I'm trying to get even for that Canseco.
I won't hold it against you.
They both begin with a C, by the way, Canseco and Cepeda.
Good work to the body by Rendon here. He doesn't, again, he's not shown any intimidation factor.
Oh, no,
He seemed to be intimidated by Cepeda.
Sam, he's in there. There's no question about that. And one big punch can change fights like this in a hurry.
And he's landed a couple of lead right hands.
Landed a good right hand.
Cepeda can't underestimate Rendon. He's going to have to start to dominate things and take a little of the heart out of Rendon, which won't be easy to do.
Rendon is really giving a good account of himself this round.
Time called. Some tape has come loose on the left glove. Round 3, scheduled 10-rounder.
Taking care of both gloves, Sam.
All right, set to go again. That good-looking jab by Cepeda.
Goes as straight as an arrow, brings it back real quick. Good right hand again by Rendon over the jab. And a good left hook to the body by Rendon. He's landed by far the harder punches this round.
Good left hook by Rendon. He'll get Cepeda's respect, that's for sure.
Good jab by Cepeda.
And the end of round 3. Ricardo Cepeda, a little concern on his face as he goes back into his corner. Rendon has been game, and the rounds have been close.
Well, I gave that round to Rendon, Sam, with the harder, cleaner punches.
Blackie Ramon in his corner, chatting with him. Our next fight night card will come your way 2 weeks from tonight in Poughkeepsie, New York, in the Mid-Hudson Civic Center, and on the card will be the WBC's #2 junior featherweight contender Tracy Harris Patterson, also unbeaten Adam G-Man Garland.
And Segundo Mercado, Sam, a good-looking middleweight. And Segundo Mercado, that should be a good fight.
That's 2 weeks from tonight from Poughkeepsie, New York. Tonight we're in Duluth, Minnesota. Are the fans here excited about boxing coming to town?
And Sam, you notice as good a fight as this is with two skilled fighters, the fans are just sitting back and very, very quiet. In the fight before this, they had their local guy in there and they were all excited. And it goes to show you that sometimes, what am I trying to say?
Well, you like to have
guy.
a rooting interest, right?
They like to have that local guy in there.
And a nice counter. The fans respond to the big punches and come alive when they see him mix it up. That's a push. That's a push. Rendon seems to be gaining in confidence. I really think Cepeda's going to have to do something. Land a big punch, open up an attack to slow down Rendon and somehow take some confidence away.
Sam, he's going to have to start working to the body. He's going to move that jab, move inside, and he's going to have to start landing those big body punches. When he's out there, he's a little taller than Rendon, and Rendon is able to reach him with those counter punches over the jab, and they're very effective.
Straight right hand by Cepeda. Rendon made a good account of himself in the fight against Regilio Tour. He felt the only reason he didn't win was that Tour was a little heavier. That was a junior lightweight bout. And here in the featherweight, he feels a lot more comfortable and on an equal footing with Ricardo Cepeda.
Well, that's what Blackie Ramon told me. He said, you're going to see a completely different fighter tonight. And so up to this point, he is a different fighter.
Blackie Ramon, the manager of Albert Rendon.
Now Cepeda is starting to work a little bit, Sam. Nice combinations. He doesn't seem to be showing that power, Cepeda, as he usually does, Sam. Maybe it's the speed of Rendon. He moves inside, moves his legs, moving from side to side.
That body seems to always be moving.
All right, punch out.
Cepeda is the better combination puncher. Rendon has landed single punches at a time.
But they're very showy punches, Sam, to get the judge's attention.
Both hands.
For round 5 scheduled for 10. Ricardo Cepeda in the trunks with the flag of Puerto Rico. And in the gold trunks, Albert Rendon.
Sam, I'd like to see a little more fire out of Cepeda.
Combination.
He threw the straight right hand, Sam, but it wasn't really a good hard right hand. It was almost like a jab, like a range finder. Good left hook by Rendon again. When Cepeda tries to throw that patented left hook to the body, Rendon is beating him to the punch with his left hook on the chin.
Cepeda's only gone the distance 4 times in his career, 3 victories. And 1 draw. His draw was in his second pro bout, a 4-round fight against Juan Martinez in Corpus Christi, Texas. So a 4-round decision victory, a 10-round decision victory, and a 12-round decision victory.
Another good right hand by Rendon.
Starting to slip a couple of those punches by Cepeda.
Cepeda's going to have to get busy. Back down to the body again.
Okay, I got it.
We've seen a couple of good performances by San Antonio fighters at Rangel when we were down in San Antonio. Did well.
Nice right hand by Cepeda. Sam picked it up a little bit. Yes, he did do well. He just about shut out a pretty good fighter. Sanabria, right? Former world champion.
And now we're seeing Rendon put on a real good performance.
Cepeda's getting to him a little bit this round, Sam. do. He's going to have to show a little more flash.
Have to open up a little bit more.
That's exactly right. There's that good left hook on the chin.
I got it. Get back.
Referee Carl Benson stepping in.
Now, Cepeda's trying to muscle Rendon. Rendon's a pretty strong little guy.
Cepeda landing more punches than Rendon. Rendon, his game, he's hanging in there with him. But Cepeda getting a little edge. With 3 punches landing to every one of Rendon.
Well, this has been Cepeda's best round of the fight, Sam. Just threw a good left hook underneath again.
End of round 5. Round 6. How do you have it scored, Gil?
I have it 4-1 Cepeda, but close rounds. And let's see if Cepeda can put the rounds together back to back. The last round was his most dominant round. Let's see if he can do it again this round. If he allows Rendon back in the fight, it can be very, very close.
Cepeda taking the lead most of the time. Rendon has been able to counter with 1 effective punch. The combination punching has been better by Cepeda.
Cepeda so far has not really put any real zip in his punches, Sam. So when he hits Rendon, he doesn't move him, and Rendon is able to punch back.
It's been almost 4 months since Cepeda fought his last fight. Perhaps that's a little too long of a layoff.
Oh, for young guys, Sam, I believe in keeping them busy. Cepeda's sharpening up now, though. Yeah. Maybe that ring rust is coming off.
I got it. Get back.
The last fight was a 4-round TKO over Jorge Martinez in Atlantic City, May 25th.
Let's go, Jorge.
Rendon not taking the lead now, not throwing as many punches.
No, again, Cepeda dominated him for the first time last round. He seems to be doing it again this round. Neither guy is fighting with a lot of fire, though, Sam. It's almost like a technical, can't call it a workout. It's a very, very technical fight is what it is.
Talking to Rendon today and asking him how he'd fight Cepeda. He said he'd match Cepeda. If Cepeda was aggressive, he'd be aggressive. Right now, Cepeda coming on strong. And another good combination. That right hand is starting to land effectively.
No, Sam, the thing is with Cepeda, sometimes he throws that right hand beautifully right down the pipe, and other times he opens it up and it's a slap. Right after he threw the good right hand, he threw a slap. But he really is starting to get to Rendon now. The ring rust is coming off as the fight goes on.
Time winding down in round 6.
Should be really trying to do something instead of just letting Cepeda put the rounds in the bank. There just doesn't seem to be that much emotion in this fight, Sam. They're both very good technical fighters, but you just don't see the fire there. At least I don't.
Cepeda's fighting almost as if he knows he's going to win.
And what about Rendon, Sam?
I think he's fighting to put on a decent show. I don't think he thinks he can win. I think he's there to hold his own, but I don't think he thinks or believes he has enough to beat Cepeda.
When do you think he made that decision, Sam? Before the fight? During the fight? Very important. I mean, if a guy doesn't think he can win the fight, he shouldn't be in there.
I think it probably happened sometime during the fight.
That's what we used to call taming the other fighters.
think Rendon is competitive, but I just don't think he has enough to beat Cepeda. Unless Cepeda makes a glaring mistake.
Well, always that one punch can change things, but the way they're fighting, it just doesn't seem that can happen.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Cepeda doing his usual thing. He's jabbing well, he's hooking well, he's going to the body. I think Cepeda's just in there working.
The referee's doing a good job in this fight, Sam. Anytime you don't see a referee and the action continues, you know you have a good referee in there.
Carl Benson.
I got it. Let him go.
Stepped in quickly, broke the fight as he gets right out of the way.
Not many sustained flurries.
No, there just isn't any fire. It's like it's almost like it's a chess game.
Cepeda continues to be ahead.
Here we see Cepeda landing that right hand. Comes right back again. And this is the way he's been dominating the last couple of rounds. Winning the rounds clearly.
I've given him the last 4 rounds, Gil.
Well, I've only given Rendon 1 round, Sam, in the fight. That's why, again, in his corner, they tell him he's going to have to do something. Start throwing those bombs, punch to the body, rough the guy up, do something. But show a little emotion.
Cepeda is 24 years old. He's ranked number 2 by the WBA and WBC, number 3 by the IBF. And the IBF champion, Jorge Paez, is scheduled to step up in weight class into the junior lightweight division, opening up that title, which will mean Cepeda will be moving up in the rankings.
Well, he's going to wind up with a mandatory title shot. Sam, if you notice, there really is not much zip on Cepeda's punches tonight. I mean, they're landing, they're clean, but it just doesn't seem to have any effect. Landing quite a few of them right now, but again, Rendon is still there.
All right, we're holding. Let him go.
And each round, Cepeda seems to be taking over more and more.
I think Cepeda has all the tools, Gil. You know, he's never been one to show that much emotion. He's always been very businesslike. When he gets the opening, he usually takes advantage of it.
Well, I've seen him when he gets guys in a little bit of trouble really operate. But tonight, maybe he has a lot of respect for Rendon. I just would like to see a little more fire out of Cepeda. He's showing every skill that you can possibly show. He's showing the jab, the straight right hand, the hook to the body.
He really hasn't had Rendon in trouble. I mean,
not at all.
He's had the edge.
Well, his right hand, it seems to be it seems to be an arm punch. To me, his best punch has always been his left hook to the body, anyhow. And Rendon has found the antidote to that. Anytime he throws to the left hook to the body, Rendon answers with a left hook to the chin. So he's really stopped using it.
You're holding. Let's go. Step back. Step back.
Cepeda just going about business. Rendon throwing out punches that are ineffective.
I got it.
Coming toward the end of round 8. Round 9. It's been a fairly uneventful fight. There have been no big dramatic moments, no big punches landed. It's been a workmanlike and effective performance by Ricardo Cepeda, the number 2 featherweight contender.
Sam, I always wonder, like, at the end of that last round when Rendon sat down, what could they tell him in the corner? They have to tell him, you're way behind, you have to gamble. Let's let the punches go.
I know what I tell him. Take the stool with you.
Or take out your sheriff's badge. Tell him he's under arrest.
Rendon's in good condition and has pretty good skill. I think he's just overmatched. He's in against a world-class fighter here.
Nailed probably the hardest right hand of the fight, Sam. Cepeda just nailed him again, nailed him again.
Best sustained action by Cepeda in the fight. Another left hook lands. Sharp jab.
Are you tight? I got it. Let him go and do more.
I think you're seeing a world-class fighter against a club fighter, and the class is showing. Cepeda getting work in to stay sharply tuned as he awaits a title shot.
And you could see the difference right almost from the opening bell. Cepeda's punches were a little shorter, a little quicker, a little crisper.
And now Rendon is feeling the effects, the cumulative effects of all the punches that Cepeda lands. Every time he lands another one, you can see Rendon wince.
And look how nice and cool Cepeda is, Sam. You know, right now he doesn't have to show the emotion. He has the fight in the bank.
It's the perfect type of fight for Cepeda because he gets the work in and it's relatively safe. It's a good opponent who's game, competitive, gives him work, but not likely from the outset. It didn't seem likely that Rendon would have enough to win. Right hand lead.
Sam, never say it's relatively safe in boxing, because one punch, as we say, can change everything.
This goes to show you Cepeda can't go to sleep and put it in the bank yet.
Never can, Sam, not in boxing.
I got it. Get on there.
Still to come, the WBA welterweight champion of the world, Aaron Davis, in our main event, is standing by. Unbeaten Aaron Davis, 30-0 in his last bout in Reno, Nevada. He won the WBA welterweight championship, knocking out Mark Breland. What a victory for Aaron Davis.
And what an exciting fight, Sam. It looked like they were going to have to stop it in Breland's favor with that eye. But Davis persisted.
Showed tremendous heart and courage in that fight.
This is the last round.
Was a big underdog going in, but it said all along if he got his chance, he would win, and he did. He backed up his words.
He sure did. There was no question about it. A clean knockout in the fight. That's the way you want to win it. And that's the way he won it. And Sam, it's quite a feeling. I mean, my first world champion, Emil Griffith, was fighting Benny Perret for the welterweight championship of the world. It was his first title fight. At the end of the 12 rounds, it was a dead even fight on the scorecards. And Griffith came out and hit him one left hook in the 13th round and knocked him cold. And you don't realize just the feeling. It changes so many people's lives. It's just such a thrill. There's no other thrill like it in the world.
10th and final round. On our scorecards, Ricardo Cepeda with a huge lead.
And now Rendon is really taking chances, but he should have done that 3-4 rounds ago, not now.
Good right hand lead. That's been a good punch for Rendon.
And another one. And a good left hook. Where was he earlier, Sam? We mentioned in the corner, this is what they should have had him doing a lot earlier. Either win it or lose it, but don't just let it slip away.
Cepeda has been effective, not spectacular, but he's been good.
Rendon is going to, he reminds me now of Bone Crusher Smith. You know, he finally hit Mike Tyson that one punch in the 12th round. He was bone clutcher for the first 11 rounds, wouldn't throw a punch. And then he wobbled Tyson in the last round, and he still thinks about it. Now this guy's having a good round. Rendon, he's got to say to himself, why didn't I start doing that earlier?
Well, he's landed a couple of punches. I wouldn't say he's had the better round than Cepeda.
Sam, but they were hard, the cleanest, hardest punches he's landed in the entire fight.
That makes you wonder where they were earlier.
All right, boom, let him go. I got it.
Nice move by Cepeda. Took that slide over to the right, inside through that right-hand chop.
And the tape has come down off the left glove, and time is called. Rendon raised his hands, drawing a cheer from the crowd. I think the crowd realizing Rendon overmatched, rooting for the underdog here.
It's the American way, Sam. Root for the underdog. Best action of the fight, Sam. Saved it to last for best. Best for last, whatever.
Watch your head.
Good work with the left hook by Ricardo Cepeda.
Okay, it's mine. I got it. Let go.
Once again, Rendon showing his toughness. As we mentioned earlier, never been down. Cepeda, a man with an excellent knockout record, has really been unable to hurt Rendon in the bout. That's it. Not a thriller, but a competitive bout.
Good workmanlike job by Cepeda. Certainly didn't hurt his title chances at all.
No. He's got all the tools to go for it. Jeff Fennick has stepped up. Jorge Paez is stepping up in weight. He's opening up some chances, and Ricardo Cepeda standing by, waiting a shot at one of the featherweight champions. Jorge Paez is currently the IBF champion, but he's stepping up to take on Tony Lopez in the junior lightweight division.
Well, if in fact that happens, Sam, Ricardo Cepeda still is not in too good a position. If they have one fight too for the vacant title, he still isn't in there.
Well, but he'd be standing by. He'd move up and get a mandatory.
Right, he'd probably be number one after that fight.
Nice fight.
And then he's number 2 in the WBA and WBC rankings.
You guys look good.
Albert Rendon, not a bad looking fighter, Gil, for someone who's not had that many fights throughout his career. Only had 13 amateur bouts. Now this is 15th pro bout.
Well, he's a good durable fighter, Sam. You know, he's a tough guy to get out of there. He's never been down. You know you're going to get 10 tough rounds out of Rendon.
I think you wonder how effective he'd be if he were boxing full time. The cards are being collected and tallied. We're waiting for the decision of the judges. Scoring done by the 3 judges at ringside. We've given Cepeda 9 of the 10 rounds. We'll see what the judges think. Ricardo Cepeda looking for his 18th victory. He's had only 1 draw to blemish his near perfect record. That was a 4-round draw in his 2nd pro bout back in May of 1987. Here's Paul Guggenheimer with the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. Judge Jim Peralt Jr. scores the fight 98-93. Judge Jim Peralt Sr. scores it 100-91. And Judge Denny Nelson scores the fight 100-90. The winner by unanimous decision, Ricardo Cepeda.
Ricardo Cepeda with his 18th victory and a near shutout, a shutout on one judge's card. 9 rounds and 1 even on another judge's card, and a 98-93 victory on the 3rd judge's card.
And look at the crowd cheering Rendon.
Well, I think
they love Rendon.
He did a good job. He hung in there. They realized he was slightly overmatched by the number 2 featherweight contender. Cepeda, a unanimous decision victory. Upcoming WBA welterweight champion Aaron Davis in a non-title bout. Welcome back to